Good morning, everyone. Sorry for starting a couple minutes late. It's 10:02 by my clock. Welcome to the Thursday, November 2nd meeting of Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee. We have regrets from Councillor El Shantiri. I know Councillor Blais was attempting to be here. He thought he might be here a bit late. By my estimation, he might miss the entire meeting, even if he's like 2 minutes late, based on what we have on the agenda. Declaration of interest. Seeing none. Confirmation of minutes for the meeting of October 5th, 2017. Are those carried? Carried? Good. So this is a public meeting to consider the proposed zoning bylaw amendments listed at items 2 to 5 on today's agenda. For the items listed above, only those who make oral submissions today or written submissions before the amendments are adopted may appeal the matter to the Ontario Municipal Board. In addition, the applicant may appeal the matter to the Ontario Municipal Board if Council does not adopt an amendment within 120 days of receipt of the application for zoning and 180 days for an official plan amendment. A comment sheet is available at the door for anyone wishing to submit written comments on these amendments. So item number 1 on the agenda is a status update. Agricultural Affairs Committee inquiries and motions for the period ending 26th October 2017. That the Agricultural Affairs Committee receive this report for information. Is item 1 received? Received. Thank you. Item number 2 is a zoning bylaw amendment for part of 8089 and 8165 Franktown Road. So this item has just an error that staff want to go back and look at between now and the next meeting of Agricultural Affairs Committee, which only happens to be in 3 weeks, so it's not exactly a massive delay, but it's November 23rd is the next meeting. So this will then move to that. Just need a deferral motion. If Councillor DeRoos could move deferral. It's not that. Just say, yes, I move deferral. All right, good. So, sorry. So we did have 2 speakers on the item. I know Mr. Winters, you wanted to speak to it. Since we moved deferral, all that's on the table is deferral the item. So there was another speaker here as well. I spoke to him. He's since left. So I'm not going to allow speakers on the item until such time that it comes back on November 23rd. Councillor Shantiri is actually here. Holy jeez. I've lied to everyone. So staff will go back and look at the issue that they had with the application. I think it's a map issue, and then it'll come back. It'll be back on this agenda in 3 weeks' time, and then you can speak to it at that time. All right. So on deferral of item number 2, carried. Thank you. Item number 3 is an official plan and zoning bylaw amendment for 1346 and part of 1380 Bankfield Road. This is a car dealership in Manotick that over the years kept on encroaching and eventually decided to rezone the lands that they encroached on. A novel thing to do. So that Agricultural Affairs Committee recommend Council approve an amendment to the official plan, Volume 2C, Manotick Secondary Plan, to permit an automobile dealership for the property known municipally as 1346 Bankfield Road as detailed in Document 1, and B, an amendment to zoning bylaw 2008-250 for part of 1380 Bankfield Road to permit an automobile dealership as shown in Document 2 and detailed in Document 3, and 2, the Agricultural Affairs Committee approve the consultation details section of this report. So is item number 3 carried? Carried. Thank you. For the 2 of you listening at home, Councillor El Shantiri has just sat next to me for the first time ever, I feel. Usually Councillor Blais sits there. To what do I owe this honor? I have no idea. So item number 4 is a zoning bylaw amendment for part of 3315 Shea Road in Richmond. This is a... Okay, so we do have a speaker, and we have... Councillor Heath has a question, so we'll just hold that item. We'll come back to it. Yeah. Item number 5 is a zoning bylaw amendment for 2980 Colonial Road. I'm going to hold that to Councillor Blais had mentioned that if he was here, if he gets here in time, he'd like to be here for that item. So I'm going to hold that. We'll put it at the very end. Item number 5 is the O'Keefe Municipal Drain appointment of drainage engineer. That Agriculture Rural Affairs Committee recommend Council appoint Mr. Andy Robinson of Robinson Consultants as engineer of record to prepare a report under Section 78(1) of the Drainage Act to inform Council on the current status of the O'Keefe Municipal Drain and whether one or more of the project listed under Section 78(1.1) is required for better use, maintenance, or repair of the drainage works or lands or roads. And that's in Barrhaven, just off of Fallowfield Road near Strandherd. So on that item, carried. Thank you. Item number 7 is the Tassay-Reginbald Municipal Drain in Cumberland Ward. Again, an appointment of engineer. The Agriculture Rural Affairs Committee recommend Council appoint Mr. Andy Robinson of Robinson Consultants as the engineer of record to prepare a report under Section 78(1) of the Drainage Act to inform Council on the current status of the Tassay-Reginbald Municipal Drain and whether one or more of the projects listed under Section 78(1.1) is required for better use, maintenance, or repair of the drainage works, lands, or roads. On that appointment, carried. Item number 8 is the Thomas Gamble Municipal Drain, which runs between Osgood and Gloucester, South Nepean. The appointment of engineer, the Agricultural Rural Affairs Committee recommend Council appoint Matthew Ford as the engineer of record to prepare a report under Section 78 of the Drainage Act to inform Council on the current status of the Thomas Gamble Municipal Drain and whether one or more of the projects listed under Section 78(1.1) is required for better use, maintenance, or repair of the drainage works or lands or roads. Carried. Thank you. Item number 9 is the Kilgrove Municipal Drain, appointment of an engineer. This is a drain that runs off of Jockville Road, which is now Longfields Drive, in Barrhaven, between Barrhaven and Rideau Goulburn. The Agricultural Rural Affairs Committee recommend Council appoint Mr. Andy Robinson of Robinson Consultants as the engineer. Okay, carried. I don't need to say it anymore. Every motion is the same, so nobody's missing anything. So we'll go back to item 4. I'm not going to ask for a presentation. This is an application for development, a planned subdivision in Richmond off of Shea Road. Right near there's a plaza at the corner of Shea and Perth. It's a 51 lot development, I believe, by Cardell Developments on Shea. So I know we have a speaker who's in favor of the application, but I just wanted to allow Councillor Hubley to ask his question that he had. So Sean Moore is the lead planner on this file, so he's here, and as is Adam Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My question in the report under document 4 talks about the traffic count being at 53% and not meeting the warrant currently for signalization. Is this development going to put it much closer to meeting the warrant? So it'll stay at 53? Well, right. So is there any money being collected towards this light that eventually is going to be needed there? Because normally growth pays for growth, right? So it'll be through the DCs on the houses. Okay. Thank you very much. That was my question.
Thank you. Yes, that actually is something that Richmond residents talk about a lot. The Marketplace Plaza from Colonnade Developments at the corner of Perth and added some traffic to that as well. But they also have an entrance onto Perth, so there's 2 exits onto Perth. Reality is if there was only one, the warrant would be met, but there's 2, so it splits the load and thus keeps the warrant down. So Lisa Del Rosa is here on behalf of Cardell. I don't think you need to speak if you don't want to, so I don't think we have any concerns with the development. So on the development, that Agricultural Affairs Committee recommend Council approve an amendment to zoning bylaw 2008-250 for part of 3315 Shea Road to permit a planned subdivision of detached dwellings and parkland areas designated as village in the official plan as detailed in document 2. And 2, that the Agricultural Rural Affairs Committee approve the consultation details section of this report. So on that item, carried. Right, so we're left to item number 5, which is zoning bylaw amendment for 2980 Colonial Road. I believe this is to allow an addition to a retirement residence in Cumberland Ward. But we have no speakers on it, so I don't know of any concerns with the project at all. Perfect. So, again, so no concerns. So that, I know Councillor Blaise is not here, but that's fine. So that the Agricultural Affairs Committee recommend Council approve an amendment to zoning bylaw 2008-250 for 2980 Colonial Road to correct an inconsistency in the zoning bylaw in order to permit a proposed addition to an existing retirement residence as detailed document 2, and that 2, Agricultural Affairs Committee approve the consultation details section of this report. So on that item, carried. Thank you. There are no in-camera items. There is nobody signed up to speak at the open mic session, unless somebody wants to. No one. Last call. Takers, no. Christine, open mic, no. Oh, fair enough. Notice the motion for consideration of subsequent meeting. Seeing none. Inquiries? None. Other business? None. On adjournment? Carried. Our next meeting will be the budget meeting and the last meeting of 2017 on Thursday, November 23rd, here at the same time. Thank you.